Hello my fellow humans, it is I, Anna, and today I'm going to be making an apple crisp pizza. So basically what it is it's an apple crisp, but instead of being served in a bowl or something, it's served with a pie crust on the bottom of a pizza pan, and it's rolled out so that it's more like a pizza. So what you will need to make the filling kind of part is you will need apples, 4 apples cut up, 2/3 of a cup sugar, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, and 3 tablespoons flour. And of course you will need the pie crust to go on the pan. So I'm going to start with that and then I'll run through the topping. So to start, I got a 9-inch pie crust, but my pan is 12 inches. So I'm gonna have to take this and open it up, and then I'm gonna roll it out with a rolling pin to make it fit the pan with a little bit extra so that I can roll it up until so that the edges are a little bit thicker. So now that I finally got my pie crust open, it only took me like 1 minute. Now that I've got it open, you can see that it's too small. So I'm gonna take that out and I'm just gonna lay it in there like I'm gonna put it right in the middle. There, it's right in the middle like this. And I'm gonna take my big rolling pin and I'm going to roll it. It's easier if you take it out, or if you have a tiny rolling pin like this, it's easy to just push out on the sides. So I'm going to be using this, but if you only have a big one, you can take it out and then roll it out and then keep trying. So here's what you would do if you had a big one. You would just take it out and then roll it. But since I have a tiny one, it's just easier for me to put it in here. Okay, so I finished rolling it out. You could have done this with a big rolling pin or a small one. Most people probably have a big one. But I've made a little bit extra so that it goes up the sides. So I'm just gonna take that and I'm just gonna roll it underneath so that it's got kind of a thicker crust, so that that's where I'm not going to fill it up with apples and cinnamon and other goodness. Okay, so I've rolled the edges so that they're like this, so that they're sticking up a little bit. So now I'm going to set it aside. Now I'm going to take my bowl and put in my sugar, flour, and my cinnamon. I'm going to mix that up, and then I'm going to add the apples into it and just mix it up. To mix it, I'm going to use a fork and just, okay, there. So it looks like this now. So I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to take my apples and put them in there. Okay, now I'm going to take my trusty silicone spatula, and I am going to scoop it underneath the sugar and mix it up like this so that all the apples get coated. And then after that, I'm just going to start kind of throwing it like this, so that all the apples are getting coated. But be careful that you have a large enough bowl so that the apples get completely coated, but you don't get apples and cinnamon all over the ground. Okay, so now that you have it tossed up, if there's still a little bit that you can't incorporate by tossing, you could just continue tossing, or I'm just gonna take my spatula so that I know that I have all of them covered. It smells really good right now. It smells like it smells like fall. Okay, now as you can see, I've gotten it all mixed up in there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make the topping. And so I'm just going to set this aside, and I'm going to get out a new bowl and then show you what ingredients you need and then show you how to make it. Okay, so now I've cleared off my space, washed off my spatula, and gotten out my new bowl. Now I'll show you how to make the toppings. For the topping, you will need 1/2 cup flour, 1/3 cup packed brown sugar, 1/2 cup oatmeal or rolled oats, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/4 cup shortening, and 1/2 tablespoon of water. So what you will want to do is you're going to take your flour, brown sugar, oats, cinnamon, and your shortening, so basically just all of it. And make sure your hands are clean for this part, because what you will want to do is you'll want to mush it together using your hands. So just kind of go in there and mush it together until it's completely combined. I've washed my hands before showing you how to do this, so just make sure that your hands are all clean and that you get it combined really, really, really well. Okay, I have completely mixed up my topping, and I had to roll up my sleeves, and I've cleaned off my hands because they got really messy. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to put my apples into the crust and just spread it out so that it's all over except on the parts that I rolled up, because the parts that I rolled up are going to serve as the edge. Okay, I've spread out all of my apples, and now I'm going to take my topping and just shake it gently onto the top of it so that it's covering all of my apples. Okay, now I have put all of my topping onto my apples, onto the pie crust. Now I'm going to put that into my preheated oven that's preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to bake them for 35 minutes. Okay, so my pizza, I guess, came out of the oven, and I'm going to take my caramel sauce and drizzle it on the top. It's best to serve this while warm. I like to put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top, but if you can't have dairy or just don't like vanilla ice cream, then you don't have to do that. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like more, please like and subscribe. The recipe will be in the description down below. Thank you for watching. Bye!